The Melodie by Schumann is a good piece suitable for beginners when you've started to separate the hands a bit. In fact, the whole album for the young by Schumann is a great educational resource because it's good music in its simplicity, distilled to be very playable. And this piece, it's especially a clever figuration in the left hand, great practice, and melody in the right hand. And as always, start with hands separately to kind of feel the melody. And then the left hand. This is the hard part. I mean, the left hand is the hard part. This is a really clever figuration because it's both a secondary voice following the melody, like on the quarter note beats, and then quicker. It's basically in 6 and in the chord notes. But at the same time it also provides a figuration of 8th notes movement in the left hand, like interspersed between these notes. So it looks like it's one thing, but it's actually two things. So if you really want to make this the most out of this music, you can bring it forward like this maybe. So I'm kind of doing the G as soft as possible. But when you first start, start with playing the right notes always. And then kind of worry about the sound balance a bit later. In the musical form, we have this first repeat, 4 bars, it's 2 phrases. We start in C major. Still in C major. Still in C major. Now, in G major. The F sharp is the leading note to G major, so it's kind of pointing there. It's somewhat more higher tension to end in G major, which is the dominant to C. Like the piece shouldn't end here, you expect something more. So then when the repeat comes, it's back to C major, that's the resolution. Now for the middle part, we're in G major, now we continue in G. With the F natural, it's the G7, so dominant 7 still in relation to the tonic. And we're still this secondary voice following. And it's a sequence, 3 times, 1, 2, 3 takeoff, so a little bit more each time probably, even if it doesn't say that. It's climbing higher and higher within the same chord, G7. And back to C. So the last time it reaches an A, you can say that it's just a further extension of a G7 chord. So if you have the F is the 7, G7, and the A is the next extension, which is the 9 or the second in the scale. So it's part of the G7 harmonic function. And then going down. So the way back we get to a D minor to a G. So D minor, G, C, that's a 2-5-1, an extended cadential movement. Really securing the cadence back to C major. So then we get the first phrase again, we recognize a return. But now for the answering phrase, it's a new direction. And it goes back to the A, now it's over F. Now it's not a G7, this is just the F major, the 4. Back to C major. Then we get the same sequence, so the 8 bars that follows now, the last part of the piece, is basically an exact repetition of these 8 bars that we had. It's just at the very end you stop the piece when you get to the C in the left hand instead. And that's it, just a great piece to play. This was a shorter video than usual, but I hope it's alright. Thanks for watching Sonata Secrets. If you enjoy these videos, a great way to support the channel is to check out my upcoming solo album of some great piano music by Schumann. I do a few different things as a pianist, and these analysis videos is one thing, a great way to share the love for piano, but doing a real album is another important part of me as a musician, and it actually gives me inspiration to keep working and produce more content in the long run. So I've set up a crowdfunding campaign for this project with some great benefits you can check out on the link below. And it's a great way to support me as a one-off if you think signing up for Patreon every month is too big of a commitment, because that is a big commitment, and I'm very thankful for the patrons I have over there. So the Patreon shout out in this episode, which is a benefit to get on Patreon, goes to A. Nika.